All right. Good day, and I would like to use this opportunity to answer some questions that you asked me, and hopefully, you are going to find them useful. All right. Like I told you, the questions are actually simple ones, and as you shall see, how I'll be solving them now. So I will not be able to solve all of them, but I'm sure if I solve some of them, you will see how easy they all are. Okay, so one of the question is x squared minus 2x plus k minus 2x plus k. And we are asked to find the value of k considering that this expression has equal roots, right? Is equals to 0. So we are looking for k considering that this expression has equal roots. This question requires you to use discriminants. And if you remember discriminants, you will see that we have the discriminant expression to be equals to b squared minus 4ac. Now, this expression helps us to determine the number of roots and all of that. So now, in the discriminant, we know that there are different uh, types of values that we can get. And one of them is that when discriminant has equal roots, it means this value is going to be 0. If the discriminant is 0, it means the expression has equal roots. So if all this equals 0, it means this guy has equal roots. So the question says that they have it equals to 0. So what is my b here? As you can see, my b is -2. So I put that here, -2. Remember, it is b squared, so I'm going to square this. Minus 4. What's my a there? My a is 1. So 4 multiply 1. What's my c? My c is k, constant. So k. Because they have equal roots, this is equals to 0. Do you understand? Now, if I am not told whether they have equal roots or they have um, unique roots or they have no roots. If I don't have that information, I have to calculate this and find my answer. If my answer is 0, it means they have equal roots. But they have told me already that they have equal roots. That's why I'm putting is equals to 0 here. So it's not like this and this are the same. No, I'm putting this 0 here because the question says they have equal roots, because that can change, and that's why I'm explaining it now. So because they have equal roots, I said is equals to 0. So let us evaluate. This will give me 4. Remember, minus squared will be plus, so everything becomes 4. And minus 4 multiply 1 is 4 times k is 4k is equals to 0. Can you see that now? So now, 4, if I take that to the other side, becomes plus, so 4k. And I'm sure from here you know what the answer will be. So my k will be 4 divided by 4, and that's 1. So this is what I'm looking for, just this, simple. So I know with this knowledge, you can solve other questions on your own. That is the value of k using discriminants. So I think that is sufficient. Okay, let's solve one more. Let us solve one more. Let me go to another slide. All right, so now kx squared. That k can actually be anywhere. In the last example, the c was the k. In this example, it has changed, but it is still the same thing. The process is still the same, plus 5. This is the expression from the question. And again, it says they have equal roots. So if they have equal roots, it means the discriminant b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0. Right? So now, what is my b here? My b is negative 4. So I put that here, minus 4 squared minus 4, this 4, b squared minus 4. You can see that my a is k this time around, and my c is 5. I hope you have not forgotten all this. Is equals to 0. Why? Because the question says that they have equal roots. So fantastic. So I have 16 minus 20k. I'm sure you know this already, because 4 times 5 is 20, multiplied by k is 20k is equals to 0. And I'm very sure you can do it from here, but let me just complete that for you. So my 16 will be equals to 20k, and k will be equals to 16 divided by 20, and you can always convert that to decimal. Divided by 20. So that's all you are looking for. So I hope that part is clear. Let me go to the second part that you asked. Let's go to the second part. In this one, it's about factorization, and it is actually the simplest form of factorization ever. One of the questions says that x to the power of 3 minus 6x to the power of 2 is equals to 0. So we are asked to factorize this, right? Fantastic. So now what you do, let's look for the common factor right away. Because all of them have x, so I can just look for the common factor. The common factor is x squared. I can bring out x squared, open my bracket, I'm left with x minus 6. Can you see this now? We are done, we are factorized. So it means x squared is equals to 0. I'm sure if you remember factorization very well, you will understand what I just did now. And x minus 6 is equals to 0. So this means that x is equals to 0 on one hand, and this means that x is equals to 6. That's all. You have factorized. Very easy. Let me take a last question here before I go for the day. You said, I hope I have one more question here. Okay, 6x squared is equals to 10x. You know, these are like grade 4 questions, as you will see now. So if I want to factorize, what I will do is to say 6x squared negative 10x. You can say I brought that to this side so that I can factorize them. And since I've removed that, I'm left with nothing, right? So now we can find the common factor. If you think about this very well, you will see that the common factor here is 2x. Is 2x. And here I'll have 3x. If you multiply that, you get 6x squared. And here I have negative 5. Again, if you multiply that, you get negative 10x. And everything is 0. So this means, just like the last one, that 2x is equals to 0. And 3x minus 5 is also 0. That makes sense? If you look at this first one, you will see that if you look at that first one, you will see that this will give me x is equals to 0, x is equals to 0 divided by 2. If I divide the two sides by 2, I have this. You can say 2x is equals to 0. It means that x is equals to 0 over 2. And that means x is equals to 0. That's the first part. As for the second part, I have my 3x is equals to 5. I will take that guy to the other side, and I know you can guess what my x is now. My x is equals to 5 over 3. That's all. So this is answer 1 for x. This is answer 2 for x. And you know that in this type of question, you have to get two answers for x because it is the power of x is 2. All right, so now these are the questions you asked, and I hope that you find this very useful, and you can also share with your colleagues. So have a nice time, and if you have more questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you.